Hey friends, pull up a chair, get comfortable. Let me put the kettle on. Because what I'm about to tell you is something I honestly still can't believe happened to me. This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's a story about a hidden, quiet piece of paper that saved my entire future and my home. Imagine this. I'm lying in a hospital bed. Tubes, monitors, that lovely paper-thin gown. I'm recovering from a nasty fall, a shattered hip, a broken ankle. I'm completely out of commission for weeks. I'm thinking about physical therapy, maybe knitting. I'm definitely thinking about getting home to my own bed and seeing my garden. Then one morning, I get a text. Not from a doctor, not from a church friend, but from my neighbor, Gary. A simple 3-line message that instantly made my heart stop. It said, "Hey, sorry to see the sold sign is already up. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Hope the move goes well." The sold sign. My house. The one my late husband, George, and I paid off together. The one where I spent 50 years raising my children and watching my grandchildren grow. The house I built my life in. My daughter, Sarah, my own flesh and blood, sold it while I was in the hospital, recovering, helpless. But here's the thing you have to stick around for. She forgot about the one secret I had hidden. Something so simple, so quietly tucked away, that it made her entire sale completely, totally invalid. She forgot the secret that saved my life. I'm going to tell you exactly what that secret was, how I discovered it, and how it brought the whole greedy scheme crumbling down. This is the wild story of a little box, a massive betrayal, and a piece of paper that changed everything. Let's go. So, how did I get in this mess? A month before the sold sign appeared, I had my nasty, clumsy fall. Broke myself up pretty bad. The doctors were clear. Surgery, followed by a long, quiet recovery. Total rest. No stress. Sarah, my daughter, was my only immediate family nearby. She was the one who was supposed to be running things. She was perfect at first, bringing me magazines, talking to the nurses, acting like the perfect devoted child. But looking back, the clues were there. They were small, quiet, and easily dismissed because I was foggy from medication and high on trust. She kept asking about the paperwork, not just the health insurance, which was fair, but the deep down official paperwork. She'd say, in a friendly tone, "Mom, I need to know where the deed and mortgage papers are, just in case a tax bill shows up, to be safe." The house was paid off, so I thought it was a strange question, but I didn't worry. I told her the usual spot, George's old locked metal filing cabinet in the basement. I told her the tiny key was on the small keychain next to my reading lamp at home. It was easily overlooked, but she must have seen it. I trusted her. She was my daughter. She was helping me heal. Then her visits started getting shorter. She'd always have an important errand to run. "I have to meet with a financial person for your recovery fund, Mom. I have to get some papers notarized for the hospital." The excuses were perfect. They all sounded like she was working tirelessly for me. Little did I know those important errands were trips to real estate offices, meetings with title agents, and trying to pull together a quick sale. And then came the text from Gary. "Sorry to see the sold sign is already up." My world shattered. I called Sarah immediately. No answer. Panic started to set in. I called Gary back. I had to keep my voice steady. "Listen to me, Gary. I need you to do me a massive favor. Can you walk across the street and read the entire sign? What's the agent's name? What's the closing date?" Gary told me. It's a white sign, Betty. Says sold across the middle. Agent's name is David, and it says closing in 10 days. Looks like a very fast sale. 10 days. She had 10 days to finalize the sale. I had 10 days to get out of the hospital and prove my own daughter was a thief. When she finally walked in the next day, she didn't come with flowers. She came with a fake smile and a stack of papers. I spoke quietly, deadly serious. Sarah, the house. She sighed, looking stressed. Mom, I was going to tell you. It's for the best. You need long-term care. Specialized physical therapy is so expensive. I've put the money in an investment account for your future. My future was fine. I have insurance. My retirement funds are untouched. And how did you sell it? I never signed a paper. She flipped through papers. The power of attorney, Mom, remember? You signed a financial POA a few years ago when you had that little heart scare. It allows me to make these decisions on your behalf. I signed a medical power of attorney for medical decisions. I never signed away the right to sell the house. That's a general financial POA. Well, the paperwork went through, she said, calm and cold. It's done. We close in a few days. You'll be fine. My single word to her was, go. The look on her face wasn't guilt. It was cold, hard calculation. I checked myself out of that hospital the very next morning. I signed all the waivers and hobbled out on a temporary walker. Gary drove me straight to a lawyer's office downtown.
Miss Chen, the lawyer, was sharp. She looked at the sale contract. She used a legitimate-looking POA, Betty. To halt a closing in 10 days, we have to prove a defect in the title itself. She did not have 100% of the property to sell. And that was the moment. The key phrase. She did not have 100% of the property to sell. My late husband, George, he was always the planner. He called it future-proofing. I remembered a casual chat we had years ago, right after we paid off the last mortgage payment. We were joking about the kids, about what would happen if things got messy. He looked at me, serious for a moment, and said, Betty, if anything ever happens, or if things get messy, remember the little box. The little box. Not the big, obvious metal filing cabinet that Sarah had ransacked. A small, simple wooden cigar box that George kept tucked away on the top shelf of his closet. It was for things he called the unnecessary necessities. I hadn't opened it in years, and suddenly I knew. That box was the only thing that mattered. I told Miss Chen, Miss Chen, George made a specific legal move 10 years ago. I think he put a quiet defect on the title, a cloud that Sarah, in her rush, must have missed. I need to go home, right now. Gary drove me. Seeing that sold sign again made me sick. I hobbled straight to George's closet. The small wooden box was exactly where it had always been. I sat down on the floor. I took a deep breath and opened it. Inside there was a faded photo, an old coin, and one single crisp legal document folded neatly. The title was printed right across the top, Revocable Transfer on Death Deed. I called Miss Chen immediately. I read her the entire document over the phone. George, bless his cautious heart, had included a specific clause. The life estate, my part. This gave me the exclusive right to live in the house for the rest of my life. For as long as I, Betty, was breathing, I had the full right of possession. No one could take it from me. The remainder interest, Sarah's part, This was what Sarah actually owned. It was the house after I pass away. Because the transfer on death deed with the life estate was already publicly recorded with the county, Sarah did not have 100% of the property to sell. The life estate meant I still had the house. Sarah could only sell the remainder interest, the right to get the house when I pass away. The buyer thought they were getting a house to live in now. Sarah sold them a promise for the future. The entire sale was invalid because she had breached the promise of a clear title. Miss Chen, her voice shaking with excitement, told me, "Betty, that is brilliant. George was brilliant. The title company missed the biggest, quietest defect. The sale is voidable because the new buyer cannot take possession. We have them." We filed an emergency motion to void the sale. The logic was simple. The buyer purchased a house they cannot legally occupy until I pass away. The contract was broken. The buyer wanted the house now, not years from now. They pulled out. The sale was officially terminated just 2 days before closing. I got my house back. The secret worked. I had one final conversation with Sarah. She was defeated. "How, Mom? How did you stop it?" "The secret, Sarah. The one you forgot. You thought the sale was about the power of attorney. It wasn't. It was about the house's title. You sold something you didn't fully own. You sold the potential of the house, not the house itself." "I needed that money." "You could have talked to me. Instead, you stole from your mother while she was in a hospital bed. That money you took is being pursued by the court. You lost your power of attorney, you lost my trust, and you lost the one thing your father tried to protect, the family bond." She forgot about the deed. She forgot about the life estate. But most of all, she forgot who her father was. George had a plan for everything, even for the possibility of a greedy child. So let me tell you the huge lesson here. This is why I wanted you to stick around. The secret she forgot was the revocable transfer on death deed, establishing a life estate. It is the ultimate future-proofing tool. It creates a simple, effective, recorded boundary that says, "This is mine until I'm gone." It keeps your home safe from quick sales, from fraud, and even, tragically, from your own family. Don't wait until you're in the hospital to think about this. Get your own little box. Put your documents in order. Talk to an attorney about simple, quiet ways to protect your biggest asset. Because, as I learned, the most trustworthy protection isn't emotional, it's legal and recorded. When I finally slept in my own bed again, it wasn't just comfort I felt. It was an overwhelming sense of peace. That house, it was a secure place again. It was the physical manifestation of my George's love and planning. That secret deed wasn't just a legal document. It was a hug from the past. The sold sign is gone. I'm back in my garden, pulling out the weeds, and I'm telling the story to everyone I know. Get your own little box. Get your own secret protection. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, dears.